Hello and welcome to today's webcast for our DMS solution. I am glad so many of you are here today to join us and get to know more about our DMS solution. Today we want to show you in a very short period of time what DMS by Simova is capable of and how users of DMS can benefit from it. But let's do a quick introduction first. My name is Max and I'm a marketing manager for Simova for over a year now, and I'm today's moderator. The live presentation will be shown by my colleague Kevin Keller. He's a consultant at Simova for over 4 years now. What are we going to show today? We will see how to archive documents within Business Central, how to manage and find documents in the system, and the integration of DMS into business processes. To demonstrate this, we will show you an example process from a sales quote to a posted sales invoice and how DMS handles the documents along this process. You can also adapt these processes to your industry solution, but Kevin will go more into detail on this topic later. If you have any questions during the presentation, just write it in the chat or save it for the question and feedback session at the end of the webcast. But let's not waste time now and hop right into the live demonstration, so I give the word to Kevin.
Yeah, thank you a lot, Max. A warm welcome also from my side. Without much chatter, we jump directly into a Business Central system in which the DMS app is integrated. Here we navigate on a sales quote because we want to go, as Max said, through a standard Business Central process. So we'll access the list of quotes. Select a new one that we just created. And we see immediately on the top right that there is a fact box, which is the DMS Simova fact box. This fact box allows the storage and management of documents within Business Central. And for DMS in combination with any vertical industry solutions, DMS can be also seamlessly integrated. For example, together with some partners, a standard has been created that extends many pages relevant to their customers with the DMS document management. Since that can be done with all pages from Business Central, from the standard and from industry solution, feel free to adapt what you see now to other pages and processes that your customers might need. Now we want to store a document for this sales quote especially. Therefore, we use the drag and drop functionality, which is one of the most basic functions to store a document. There are many different ways to automate it, to do it manually. Simply approach us for what is needed here. But we'll use, as we said, the drag and drop functionality. Therefore, we have prepared some documents and we'll use a demo concept for a bicycle and store it here. We see immediately that a window opens, and on the right side, there's a preview, so we can see directly that our concept creators are not the most gifted drawers. But yeah, this window is basically used to clearly assess and classify documents. We determine what type of document this is. On one hand, we do this on the basis of content types. This can also be called document type. We basically tell what kind of document it is. And the documents that we see here are specifically configured for this document, this quote. They can differ depending on where you store a document. For example, on a customer card, we see completely different content types depending on the process that is wanted by us as DMS users. We select now here concept because what we see here is a concept. And now we focus on the other part, which is the so-called metadata. Metadata is descriptive keywords that come directly from Business Central, from the system, from this table of the quote that we have here. and they help to classify and later on retrieve the document more precisely. In this case, we have, for example, the business partner name, the number, but also the quote number, who and when the document is stored. And this is now assessed to this document. We could also make a comment. We'll not do that here. But these fields like comment, which we have here, can also be mandatory. So you have to give a certain information to the document before you can store it. So now we clicked on OK, we stored this concept. And I want to show you now how it looks if we have a mandatory field. And we have this, for example, for the content type of sales quotes. So we imagine now that my sales quote has been signed by the customer after we've sent it out on whatever way we did it. And we now want to put the signed quote back here. So we drag and drop it. And as soon as we select sales quote, the system will show me that I have to sign this here. Otherwise, I can't store it. I select yes here because it has been signed. And it is stored now. The third thing we want to show you is how to store an email in the DMS. Because now we want to provide the information of what has been written to us to everyone in the system. In this case, the order has been placed for this quote that we have here. So I'll simply move to Outlook. And I can drag and drop my email on here. These mails don't have to be forwarded in any way this way, and all coworkers in the company can directly access the necessary information on the Business Central process. Therefore, we select correspondence here, click on OK, and have it in our DMS. Now we focus on where the documents can be found again. Therefore, we simply click on this number and the document overview opens. Here you will find all the documents that have been archived behind this sales quote in a list view. And we see that we have already dropped 3 documents here. As soon as we click on it, a preview loads and it presents my document directly in Business Central. The big advantage here is that the user no longer has to leave the system he's familiar with to look at all the documents or download it or do anything like this. He has this overview in his system. Now, it could be the case that a large number of documents has been stored behind a process. For example, a customer card. To a customer, we might have assigned a lot of documents. And in this case, we have extensive filtering options in the DMS, which are very helpful here. For example, documents can be freely grouped by category by simply dragging and dropping a column that we have here in this area above. For example, if we pick content type, it will group all documents according to the content type. In this case, we only have one per batch that we made here, but we can take this even further. And for example, take the user column, put it here, and now we see that we have by the user admin, the sales quote document, which is our concept, dropped over here. This will make it easier to find documents within a large amount of documents. And also this view that we have built here now gets saved for the user. So he only has to build his preferred view once. Some might ask themselves now, what happens if I drop the same document twice into my fact box? We do that directly with our concept and we see what happens. The system now recognizes that this has been stored once already. So DMS will now give you the option, as Windows does it, as soon as you drop something within an area where something already has been dropped, the option to either rename the document, which will store it as a completely different document, replace it, or add a version to the existing document. So we also have something like versionating within our DMS. So we click on OK, we see the number of documents is not updating, but it stores a second version and will show me in the preview also my latest version, but also give me access to the old versions of a document. Max said in the beginning that we will show DMS within a Business Central standard process. So we are now coming to the next step in the process, which is the creation of an order. So we will make an order here. Immediately jump onto this order. And DMS is configured in the standard in that way that it will always show the documents from the entire process. So we see in our fact box that the same documents we already dropped are there. Documents we now drop on the order will, for example, be available later on in the corresponding invoice. So this way documents are never lost, and the person that manages, for example, this sales order will see all the documents, and also in the end, departments such as the financial accounting benefit from the availability of all documents. Now within our process, we will create the according sales order confirmation, which we will later send out to the customer. Therefore, we go to print here and we print our confirmation. We simply save it on our desktop. And now, as you see, during the printing process, the sales order confirmation was stored in the system. So yeah, of course, when printing a document from Business Central, a function that a customer will always want is to have automatic archiving of this document. For example, if we later on create the outgoing sales invoice from Business Central, you will want this to be stored digitally. And in the background, DMS will, of course, take care of this as well. This can be activated or deactivated for all necessary documents, so no manual archiving has to take place within a process of in which we create outgoing documents. Now we create the posted sales invoice, so we post our sales order, open this posted sales invoice, and we see now that in the finished process on our sales order, we will still find all our documents from the previous processes. So every coworker can access documents regarding the order and quote for this invoice. Now I would like to introduce you to a completely new way of finding documents from the system, which is the document search. This is a tool to retrieve documents without having to navigate to the related document or process. And here the user is able to search all metadata. If it's the document library, for document numbers, content types, but also a full metadata search is available. So for example, if we want to find documents for our order that we just created, where we dropped our order confirmation or where it was automatically stored, we can simply type the 06 because that was our order. This was it. And we see our document which has been stored here. We see a preview, can download it, and have the option to also jump directly to our order in so to the related Business Central process via this button. This way you can go the other way around and jump into Business Central processes that are associated with a document. That's it for the features I wanted to show today. There will be a few more webcasts in the future where we will go more into the future of into the features of DMS and other add-ons. But for a short summary, what have we seen? We have seen a document management system which is fully integrated into all relevant Business Central and industry solution processes and takes care of archiving all outgoing documents in an automated way, but also offers a document management option within Business Central, and which supports your users in such a way that all documents are available where they are needed. Thanks a lot at this point, and I'll give the word back to Max.
Thank you, Kevin, for the live presentation of the DMS solution. We are now heading into the feedback and question session. So if you have any questions, just write them in the chat and we will be happy to answer them for you. And with that, I want to thank you again for participating today and I wish you a nice day. Goodbye.